What's going on, trading world? Welcome back to another video. It has been exactly 1 year and a few days that I quit my full-time job to trade. In this video, I want to share with you guys the pros that comes with this lifestyle and how it changed my life, and also some of the cons that came along with trying to achieve profitability and trying to achieve this stage. So I mean, to be able to do this full-time, it definitely took a lot of dedication, hard work, and I think there were top 3 pros that I would love to disclose and top 3 cons that I would like to disclose. I put a lot of thought and effort into this video, so I'm really hoping that by the time you guys finish this video, you're gonna have a much more clearer vision for yourself. We're just gonna list pros and cons. So we'll start with pro number 1, we'll move on to con number 1, and in that order we'll go along. So let's just dive into the video, man. All right, so pro number 1 is something that I think mattered to me the most. I think it's something that was my biggest why in why I wanted to be successful in trading, and that was the time freedom. To me, time freedom was the biggest thing, right? I worked in a family business where I had to work 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, no life, right? Moved into a corporate job where, you know what, I did have weekends off, but still I felt like a fucking slave. Excuse my language. Clocking in at 8:30, clocking in at 5 o'clock, soul sucking energy out of you. To me, the biggest why was time freedom, man. I used to wonder what it would feel like to go out on a Tuesday afternoon on a drive, because I never had been out on a Tuesday afternoon because I'd always been working my whole adult life. So for me, one of the biggest pros has been time freedom, the ability to do what I want, when I want, where I want. It's like I decide when I want to work, how hard I want to work, how long I want to work. And there's other professions that might make more money than I do, but I'm pretty sure that I probably would make more money than perhaps medium-sized lawyers and doctors and things like that. But with professions like that, even a doctor, he's in the hospital 8-10 hours a day. A lawyer is, I know lawyers that are working all day every day, 7 days a week. And I've personally done one-on-ones with doctors, people who've wanted to actually do trading because they just don't like how much time they're having to give to their profession. So time freedom, I believe, honestly, time is worth more than money, and that's the biggest pro. Con number 1, listen, it's not for everybody. I don't think it's for everybody unless you have an extreme passion. I think the way I did, and so I see that passion in some of my students. I don't think it's for everyone. If you're going to university for something that you like, you may potentially like doing, pursue that. And you can pursue trading as a side gig, but to do this full time, it's going to require a lot of dedication, a lot of passion, and I just don't think everybody has it in them. I don't think everybody has that drive for trading. It's a really weird trading career. I always tell people I think you have to be a little bit crazy to want to pick this as a career path. But it's something that I love and I'm super passionate about, and for me it was like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep when I wasn't profitable. Even right now it's not that easy, but I couldn't I couldn't think, bro. That's all I wanted to do. It's all I prayed about, thought about, wanted. I was just not normal, man. So you gotta have an ambitious drive for this thing, and if you do, and this is something you really want after, eventually, I'm telling you, you will get there. It's just a matter of time. Watch one of my videos. It's called the key to Forex, right? But the con number 1 is it's not for everybody. And then when I go back to what I was saying about the doctor, I had a few doctors that reached out to me, people I knew, family friends that are doctors. They wanted to do one-on-ones. They tried studying trading, and I was like, listen, how long did it take you to become a doctor? One guy said 8 years, one guy said 10 years. I said, listen, are you willing to put 5 years into trading before you see a dime? And the answer was, what? No. They thought, I'll put a year in and I'm going to start making money, more money than I make as being and no, that's not how it happens, right? You need to have an insane amount of passion. For me to reach this profitability stage took 3 years, but those 3 years, you don't understand. I didn't have a life. I didn't have nothing. It was just straight work. Those 3 years were probably equivalent to maybe 8 years. And honestly, if I put those 3 years in something into maybe going to university for something professional, or doing e-commerce, or doing anything else, if I put that amount of work into something else, trust me, I would have been successful in that just as much as I am in Forex. So the thing is, it's not for everybody. It may not be for you. It may be for you. Maybe, you want to do it as a side thing. You want to reach a certain target. Maybe you only want to make $1,000 a month, and that's good enough for you. But if you're somebody who wants to make this a full-time living, You always are looking to level up as a trader, and there's a certain amount of commitment and drive that comes to getting to that stage. So I think that's a pretty big con. It's not for everybody. It draws you in because of the lifestyle, the marketing, Instagram, and the Lambos, and those things will bring you in, but it's not going to be for everybody. Pro number 2, man. I like talking about the pros. I don't like talking about the cons, but it is what it is, man. Pro number 2 is the financial freedom. All right, my number one goal when I came into this thing was I wanted time freedom with a little bit of financial freedom. All I wanted to do was get my time back, and then I wanted to make like a little bit more than what I was making monthly at my job. Obviously, like a bit. Like I was not making that much money at my job, but it was a good job. But the financial freedom that came with trading, man, it was insane. When I was still working my job, all you guys probably have seen my FTMO interview. When I made that 30,000 in 1 month, 30,000 US, which was like equivalent to like, I don't know, like $38,000 Canadian. That was literally close to like, that was like 60% or something of my whole yearly salary. So when I made that in 1 month, I was like, damn, like that's possible. I've been able to help my family financially, which like directly my parents. I was able to buy the car that I always wanted to buy. I just posted a tweet on Twitter and on Instagram. I traveled more in the last 12 months than I did in the last 12 years of my adult life working life. Boom, boom. I was in Miami, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, BC, London, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan. Like I was just all over. Cuba. I remember sitting on December the 8th, and I was like, just, I had just smoked like a Cuban cigar somewhere. I don't know. Somebody was telling me about Cuban cigars, and I was just like researching them, and I was like, yo, why don't I just go to Cuba? Like randomly booked a ticket 9 p.m. I believe the next afternoon at 3 p.m. I was in Cuba. Like that's how quick you can make things happen. When you're working with a bit of a better financial situation. So the financial freedom that it brings, the money that it brings, it's not going to be always consistent, but it's definitely going to pay you more than a job. I can definitely say there has been months, and there has been many months where I probably made way more money than a doctor, a lawyer, a surgeon, whatever, an engineer, people I know in my family that are like, they're really respected for their careers, and I'm pretty sure I smashed their income pretty hard, bro. Just sitting here chopping it up on Discord and trading. Like for me, there's no trade-off for that. Like, you know what I mean? Just the traveling alone that I'm able to do, that's a big pro. Time freedom with a little bit of financial freedom, man. That's pretty good. All right, so let's move on to con number 3, and that's gonna be something that you probably know about. It's inconsistent income. It's 100% inconsistent income. So when you're trading, you're gonna have months like I remember last year, and I'll tell you very honestly about my income from last year from trading, even this year from trading. It's very inconsistent. You'll have months like where I had a month in July where I made $30,000. August, I made nothing. I blew all my funded accounts. September, I got my accounts back, but I didn't make anything. October, November, I made a hell of money. December, I didn't make anything. January, I didn't make anything. February was break even. March was like, I was all right. April, I smashed. May, June, July, I wrecked. Just smashed out the ballpark. I've covered my whole year basically. I don't even really need to trade anymore. But let me tell you something. Those months, like August was my first like inconsistent month, and I just quit my job. August, a little bit of September. That December, I remember feeling very lonely, very disheartened. That January, like it was like it really starts messing with your head. Like if you quit your job and now you're a full-time day trader, even though you made 20,000, 3 months ago, and you're able to run, you can pay your bills and things, it's still eating you up alive inside. Even if I make, I remember making like 45 grand 1 month, and the next month I was just losing a lot of trades. I remember being fucking miserable, unhappy, just because it was that inconsistency part of not making money that's just somewhat like, it's something that I'm working on, and it's something that not everybody can handle. So if you're somebody who has a job, like a good job, and you can keep the job and trade with it, I would say keep the job, man. There's nothing wrong with working a job. Obviously you want your time freedom, but keep that job as long as you can, because at least you'll have some consistent income coming in, and that puts less pressure on your trading, right? So there's obviously other ways that you can fix this issue, and we're going to talk about those. But I know traders, like real OG traders that have been trading for 12 years, and they've told me they've had losing months, they've had losing quarters, and they've had losing years. You know what I'm saying? So you need to think about some of these things. And once you move into full-time day trading, if you make 20-30 grand a month, you need to save that money and really, you know, utilize it and really manage that money as well. All right, pro number 3. There is no pro number 3, bro. Honestly, I tried to make a list of 3 pros and I couldn't. There is no third pro. There's only 2 pros. Time freedom and financial freedom. Other than that, trading is boring, it's stressful. Like literally, it's not fun. It's not a fun job to do. Yeah, it's great when you're making money, but it's hella stressful too. So for me, there is no third pro. But let me talk to you about something, okay? There is one little pro that I would say about trading, right? Once you have the time freedom and you have the financial freedom, there's one thing that I'm gonna tell you right now. Trading is not gonna make you a millionaire. I'm not gonna, as much of a great trader I'm gonna be, unless I have $1 million personal account, I'm not going to make no millions off trading. What trading will do though, it will give you the time freedom. So that means when I was working my 8:30 to 5, at 5 o'clock, I would be so tired, drained of my energy. I couldn't do shit. But if I wake up at 5:30 now, you know, chop it up in Discord, I send some trades, I trade, I make some money, I make a YouTube video, I do whatever. 5 o'clock, I can keep going. I'll trade the Asian session till 12 p.m. It just gives you the energy to keep going and doing other things. And then when you have the finances, like you have an extra 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand laying around, now you have the money to, okay, you know what, I have an idea to launch another project. I have an idea to maybe I want to start another business. You know, I'm still going to trade full time. That's still my career. But like personally, you know, I am working on a couple other projects that have nothing to do with trading. And the only reason I'm able to do these things is because I have the time freedom. So I have time and I have a little bit of money, which came from trading. So first you got to get those 2 things from trading, and then it sets you up to making, you know, you can become a millionaire, or you can make, you know, lots more money. And then that's what solves that inconsistent income part. When you have other sources of income, you need to build multiple streams of income. Doesn't matter how you do it, right? Trading is just one of them. Trading is the one that sets you up for success. What you do after is up to you. So that's kind of like my hidden pro number 3. All right, listen guys, if you guys are getting any kind of value from this video, please hit the like button. Do it right now. Just hit the like button, bro. It's gonna take you a second. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're gonna drop more videos like this. Follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter. I'm always dropping some really good knowledge on there. And with that, we'll move on to con number 3. Con number 3 is that this is an extremely mentally stressing game. I don't care how much money you're making. I know I've talked to traders that have been in the game for 10 years, and this thing does get easier over time. But I'm 3 years in. I'm about a year and a half into full-fledged profitability, meaning I make at the end of every quarter, I'm plus green really well. Like I've had months where I've made I've had months where I've broken my 30K per month record. I've high 5-figure months, things like that. So the money's there, but it's still extremely stressful. Even if you're making money, it's still a lot of stress. The Forex markets are always changing. It's like the trade setup is never the same. Like we have a setup called the A+ setup, which, you know, has a really good high win rate. But if you're somebody who doesn't have a working strategy that's really good, or like something like an A+ setup, this thing will just blow your mind out of the water, man. If you can't handle the stress, you're going to go into revenge trading. You're going to turn into a gambling mindset. You're going to have unhealthy habits. You're going to basically drive yourself a little bit insane. I've seen it happen to people. So it's not the most healthiest thing to do. You got to really take care of your body. And that's something I've been focusing on, is like health, eating better, my sleeping habits, not stressing too much, not risking too much. If I lose some money or if I lose a funded account, it is what it is, man. Life moves on. This is part of the game. This is what you signed up for. If you're doing this full time, this is what you're signing up for. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hella stressful. And I think that's probably the last con that I want to conclude on this video, is the stress that it causes you. But with over time, you know, you get better at handling that stress. You get better with risk management and all these things. Now, Now, if you want to learn how to actually trade properly, systematically, with a good strategy, an A+ setup, with the best trading community, I would say, in the world, we have probably the most funded traders in any Forex community out there, 100%. I would say definitely we were probably top 5. Hit the link in my description below, tradinglp.com. We have intake every first of the month, and we only take 20 students now because Discord has kind of become overpacked. And join our community, man. It's going to solve a lot of these cons that come with trading. And definitely it'll increase your rate of how fast you can become a full-time day trader. So hit the link in the description if you want to join. With that, I'll wrap this video up. Please hit the like button and consider subscribing.